Okay, so welcome to another deep dive. And today we are really getting into...
the heart of it.
Yes. El poder de elegirte a ti mismo, which basically translates to the power of choosing yourself.
Yeah, the power to choose yourself.
We'll be using the study guide that the author put together and also some excerpts from the book.
Exactly.
And our mission here is really to understand, what does it really mean?
What does it mean?
To choose yourself.
Yeah.
Especially when it feels like the world is telling you to do a million other things.
Right, like everything is pulling you in a different direction.
Exactly.
And you're just trying to hold on.
Yeah, so the text actually starts out with this really great question.
Okay.
And so I want to pose this to you, our listener.
Okay.
When was the last time that you stood in front of a mirror and honestly asked yourself if you're living the life that you truly want?
Oh, wow.
Not the one that you think you should want.
Yeah.
Or that people are telling you should want.
That is a powerful question.
That's a very powerful question.
It is.
And it makes you stop and think.
It does.
It really does highlight that tension, doesn't it?
Absolutely.
Between who we feel like we are inside and then all of the pressures.
All the expectations.
The expectations that are on us.
The shoulds.
From the outside world.
Yeah, all the shoulds.
And it's interesting, just even that question, right? Even just thinking about that for a second.
Yeah.
You kind of get a sense of like...
Yeah, you can almost feel it, right?
Almost feel that tension, right?
Like there is a little bit of a disconnect for most of us.
Yeah. And so to kind of guide us through this exploration, we're going to be looking at the ideas of Carl Jung. Yeah. A very influential thinker.
Yeah. I mean, Jung's work is so foundational to a lot of these concepts.
Exactly.
Of self-discovery.
And so yeah, let's kind of unpack this a little bit. So the text kind of starts out by, illustrating how much noise there is.
Oh my God.
From the outside world.
Constant bombardment.
From the moment our day begins. I mean, you wake up.
You wake up and you're immediately like...
And you're just like on this train of routines and responsibilities. And expectations.
It's just like this constant flow of information and demands coming at you.
And it's very easy to feel completely overwhelmed by it.
Oh, absolutely.
When you think about it, just the morning rush. Getting to work, deadlines.
Family obligations.
Oh my gosh, family obligations.
The kids need to be here and there.
And then you're scrolling social media.
Yeah.
And it's like...
And that's another layer.
Yeah, and it's like telling you how to act and what to buy.
What to buy, what to achieve. How to look.
Yeah, and so what does this mean for you listening to this right now?
So what happens is you get caught up in this external validation.
Oh, yeah.
It starts shaping, your sense of self, your decisions, without even realizing it.
Yeah, and so I think a key takeaway from this is like when we're so focused on the external world like that, we are sending a message to ourselves.
Yes, and what is that message?
What is that message that we're sending to ourselves?
Well, the text is really emphasizing that when we consistently prioritize the needs of others, like when we put everybody else first all the time, we're actually sending a very clear signal to our inner self.
What is that signal?
That our own desires and needs are less significant. They're secondary.
It's almost like we're telling ourselves that we don't matter as much.
Right, and it's almost like we're training ourselves to tune out that subtle but persistent inner voice.
Yes.
One that's trying to guide us.
Yeah. Have you ever felt that?
Oh, absolutely.
Like something's off.
Like there's this little nudge or this inner knowing.
Yeah, but then you hear...
But then the louder voices.
The louder voices of the world, and you just push it down.
You push it down, and you're like, I don't have time for that right now.
Exactly.
So what happens when we do that?
Yeah. So what happens when we do that? What happens when we ignore that?
The text is very clear.
Yeah.
That inner voice is essential.
It is.
It is our direct connection to our authentic selves.
Yeah.
To our deepest longings.
It's like our soul is trying to speak to us.
Yeah. And it's not just some fleeting emotion, right?
Right.
It plays a crucial role in guiding us towards decisions that are aligned with our true nature.
And when we do that, that's when we start to feel that inner peace.
Exactly.
That fulfillment.
That fulfillment we all crave, right?
Yeah. It's like, think about it this way.
Okay.
If you're making a choice based on what other people are telling you to do or what you think you should do, how does that feel inside?
Probably not so great.
Versus if you're like, you know what?
Yeah.
This is what I'm feeling called to do.
This is what feels right to me.
Even if it's scary.
Yeah, even if it's scary.
That sense of satisfaction.
It's going to be completely different.
It's totally different. Yeah. And this is where Carl Jung kind of comes into play.
So the text introduces Jung's perspective.
Yeah.
On our connection to the unconscious.
The unconscious. Yeah. So explain that a little bit.
So Jung believed that this connection to the unconscious wasn't just a possibility. It's fundamental to being human.
Like we're all connected.
We all have this connection to this deeper part of ourselves.
But we just choose to ignore it.
But we do. And the text highlights why.
Why? Why do we do that?
Well, often it's because those messages coming from the unconscious can be uncomfortable.
They can be.
They can surface feelings of unease.
Yeah.
Pain.
Yeah.
Fear.
Right.
Especially if acknowledging those messages requires us to question, our current circumstance.
Yeah, like our comfortable little routines.
Our comfortable routines, our beliefs.
Easier to just stay asleep.
It's easier to just stay asleep
than to wake up and see what's really there.
Right.
So the text is asking you to think about what uncomfortable feelings are you dismissing?
Yeah, what are you pushing down?
Yeah, like is there something that you know is off, but you're just not really dealing with it?
And Jung would say that those feelings don't just vanish.
They don't.
They don't.
Where do they go?
They continue to influence us from the unconscious.
Oh, wow.
Often in ways that we're not even fully aware of.
That's kind of scary.
It is a little bit.
It's like they're hiding down there.
Yeah, lurking in the shadows.
Yeah, and then they're
going to pop up when you least expect it.
Yeah, and they pop up and they kind of control you in a way.
Yeah.
Okay, so speaking of things that kind of control us.
Okay.
Fear.
Fear
is a big one. The text talks about how fear
Yeah.
plays a role in how we make decisions.
And it's a double-edged sword, right?
Yeah.
It can be a motivator.
It can be.
It can push us to take action.
Like fight or flight.
Exactly.
Right.
But it can also be a deterrent.
Yes.
Holding us back.
Yes.
From pursuing.
Yes.
Those paths that might lead us to a more authentic self.
Yeah. And this is where Jung says, we need to really ask ourselves, how many of our choices are actually coming from a place of fear?
Ooh, that's a good one.
Right. Like, are we afraid of disapproval?
Yeah, what are people going to think?
What are people going to think? Yeah. Are we afraid of the unknown?
Yeah, I don't know what's going to happen if I do this.
Like, I'm comfortable right here.
Right.
I know this.
I know.
I'm just going to stay here.
Right.
Are we afraid of deviating from what is considered normal?
Oh, yeah, that's a big one.
So it's like all these fears that are keeping us
small.
Small and inauthentic. I mean, can you think of any decisions you've made lately?
Oh, gosh, yeah, all the time.
That were based out of fear.
I think a lot of us can relate to that.
Yeah, and so the text is saying that when we're making decisions from that place, we end up feeling...
Not good.
Not good.
Like there's this inner turmoil.
Turmoil.
This disconnection from ourselves.
Yeah, like we're not in alignment.
Exactly.
With who we really are.
And that's where this idea of choosing yourself comes in.
Choosing yourself?
Yes.
But I think a lot of people get this confused with being selfish.
Right. It's a really important distinction.
Huge distinction.
Because the text makes it very clear.
Yeah.
That choosing yourself is not about neglecting others.
Right.
Or being self-absorbed.
Yeah.
It's about recognizing that finding peace within ourselves is the foundation for being able to offer our best to the world.
I always think about it like, on an airplane. When they say, put on your oxygen mask first, before you help other people.
Exactly.
Because if you don't,
if you pass out,
you're not going to be able to help anybody.
You're no good to anyone.
Exactly.
So it's not selfish. It's actually necessary.
It's necessary.
For everyone's well-being.
Yes. And so the text is saying that choosing yourself, it's an act of self-love.
Yes.
And that when we love ourselves, that's when we can truly love other people.
That's when our relationships can be genuine and healthy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So what happens when we do start to prioritize ourselves?
Oh, there's a shift.
There's a shift. Yeah. What kind of shift?
Well, the text describes a transformation.
Yeah.
When we start to live more in alignment with our true essence.
Our true essence. Okay. What happens?
We begin to attract people and situations
that
resonate with our true nature.
So it's like we raise our vibration.
Exactly. It's like the universe responds to our authenticity.
Like the universe is like, yeah.
Okay, I see you. Yeah. You're finally being real.
You're finally being you.
Here you go.
And so the universe starts to clear away what no longer serves us.
So things start to fall away.
Yeah, things fall away.
That aren't serving us.
And then new opportunities appear that are more aligned.
Like magic.
It's pretty amazing.
It's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
But I think to really get to that place of being our authentic selves, we have to confront something.
We do.
That's a little bit
scary. The shadow.
The shadow.
Yes, Jung's concept of the shadow.
So what is that?
So the shadow is that hidden part of our psyche that contains all the aspects of ourselves that we'd rather not acknowledge.
Like the dark side.
Well, it's not necessarily just the dark side.
Okay.
It's also the undeveloped potential or aspects that we've been conditioned to suppress.
Okay.
It's like all the things that we've deemed unacceptable.
Okay. And we've kind of shoved them down into the basement of our psyche.
So why is it important to confront this shadow?
Because the text says that confronting our shadow while uncomfortable is a vital step towards authenticity.
So by pushing it down, we're actually being inauthentic.
Exactly.
We're not fully embracing all of who we are.
All of who we are.
So how do we do this?
Well, it's about acceptance.
Okay.
Accepting all facets of ourselves.
Even the ones we don't like.
Even the ones we don't like.
Oh, that's hard.
It is hard.
But the text says that when we do this, we unlock inner strength.
Exactly. It's like integrating all the pieces of the puzzle.
Yeah.
Even the ones that don't seem to fit at first.
And this leads to a transformation.
Yes.
Okay, so there's another concept that kind of goes along with this, which is letting go.
Letting go.
So what does it mean to let go?
So letting go is about having the courage to release what no longer resonates with us, what no longer supports our growth.
So this could be.
It could be relationships.
Oh, yeah.
It could be beliefs.
Yeah.
It could be habits. Patterns, yeah. Anything.
Anything that's no longer serving us.
Right.
But that's so hard to do.
It is hard.
Why is it so hard?
Well, son, the text points out that we often cling to the familiar.
Yes.
Even when we know it's not good for us.
Even when it's hurting us.
Even when it's hurting us because of fear.
Fear of change.
Fear of change. Fear of the unknown.
Yeah, it's comfortable.
It's comfortable.
Even if it's painful.
It's familiar.
It's familiar, so we just stay there.
So we stay stuck.
So I stay stuck.
And we miss out.
Yeah.
On potential opportunities for growth.
So I want you to think about right now.
Yeah.
What are you holding on to that is no longer serving you?
What's that thing that you know you need to let go of?
But you're afraid to.
But you're just clinging on for dear life.
That's a good question.
It is.
And so the text talks about how when we start to align with ourselves, something really interesting starts to happen.
What's that?
Synchronicity.
Synchronicity.
Have you ever experienced that?
Oh, all the time.
Where it's like things are just falling into place and it feels like
it's meant to be.
It's meant to be.
Yeah.
So the text describes synchronicity as these meaningful connections between our thoughts, our emotions, and the things that are happening in our lives.
Right. And they're not causal.
Yeah.
But they're meaningful.
It's like the universe is like,
wink, wink.
Wink, wink.
Wink, wink. I'm
here to support you.
Yeah.
And it seems like it happens when we're living authentically.
When we're choosing ourselves.
It's like the universe is like,
I see you.
Yes.
You're on the right path.
So for someone listening to this who is thinking, okay, I love all this, but where do I even begin?
Where do I start?
What is the first step?
Right. It could feel overwhelming.
The text is very clear. Start by listening to yourself.
Yes, listen.
So when you're feeling uncomfortable or when you're feeling a strong emotion, stop, pause, and ask yourself.
What is my unconscious trying to tell me?
What is my soul trying to tell me? What is my intuition saying?
Totally.
And Jung says that the answers we're looking for are already inside of us.
They're already there.
It's not out there.
We just have to tune in.
We just have to listen.
Yeah.
But the text also acknowledges that it's not always easy to listen to our intuition.
It's not always easy.
Especially when it's telling us to do something.
Yeah.
That's going to change our lives.
That's going to challenge our relationship.
Our relationships.
Our careers.
Our careers.
Our long-held dreams.
Like, what if our intuition is saying, quit your job.
Move to a different country.
Move to a different country.
And that relationship.
That's scary.
That's terrifying.
And so Jung is saying that when we ignore those signals, we're actually denying.
We're denying our deepest essence.
Our true selves.
Our true selves.
So it's not strong to ignore that.
It's actually a weakness.
Wow.
Yeah, it takes courage.
Courage.
To listen to that inner voice.
And to act on it.
And to act on it.
Even if it's scary.
Even if it's scary.
So the text talks about this tension between the fear of loss and the loss of self.
Ooh, powerful.
And how choosing ourselves often means letting go.
Letting go.
Things that no longer serve us.
Yeah, even if it's painful.
Even if it's painful, like what if it means...
What if it means leaving a relationship?
Leaving a relationship.
Losing a job.
Losing a job.
Changing career.
Changing career.
Moving away from family.
That's so scary.
It is scary.
And the text says that we have to weigh the fear of that loss against the actual loss that we experience of our true selves.
When we
stay stuck
in a situation that's no longer serving us.
It's a powerful reframe.
It is.
To think about it that way.
And again, the text talks about how choosing yourself is not egoism.
It's not.
It's not selfish.
It's not about being self-centered.
Why do we think that?
Well, I think there's a lot of societal conditioning that makes us feel like it's wrong to prioritize our own well-being.
We're supposed to be... We're
supposed to put everyone else first.
Right.
And ourselves last.
But the text is saying that's not true.
That's not true.
It's actually the opposite.
It's the opposite.
When we choose ourselves, we're actually being more loving.
Exactly.
Towards ourselves.
It's an act of self-love.
And towards others.
And that allows us to show up more fully, more authentically.
In our relationship.
In our relationships.
And so what happens...
when we do that?
The text talks about this clearing effect.
A clearing? What does that mean?
It means that as we become more authentic, unsupportive people, and draining situations, may start to fade away.
It's like they can't handle the real us.
Yeah, and it's not that we're consciously pushing them away.
Right.
It's just that
they're not a vibrational match.
They're not a vibrational match anymore.
Yeah, and it's not a random.
No.
The text is saying it's a reflection of our internal transformation.
Exactly.
And so we're attracting different people.
Different people.
And different situations.
Different situations.
That are more in alignment.
That are more aligned with who we truly are.
That's really cool.
It is.
So to do all this,
the
text says that we need to be radically honest.
Radically honest.
With ourselves.
Yes.
What does that mean?
That means being willing to look at all parts of ourselves.
Even the dark ones.
Even the dark ones.
Yes.
Even the ones that we've made mistakes.
Even the mistakes we have to acknowledge.
We have to acknowledge our past, our decisions, the things that we've done that maybe weren't in alignment.
But we don't have to beat ourselves up about it.
No.
The text is saying it's not about self-punishment. It's about learning.
It's about learning.
And growing.
And growing.
And so Jung reminds us that this is a journey.
It's a journey.
Not a destination.
Not a destination.
We're never going to arrive and be like, I'm authentic.
I'm done.
I'm done.
I've arrived.
It's a process.
It's a process.
Of evolution and growth.
Exactly.
And the text acknowledges that there's going to be resistance.
There's always resistance.
Doubt.
Along the way.
It's part of the process.
It's part of the process.
Yeah.
But instead of looking at that as a bad thing, the text is saying, see it as an opportunity.
An opportunity to go deeper.
To go deeper.
To learn more
about yourself.
About yourself.
Yeah.
So let's talk about how choosing yourself affects our relationships.
So the text explains that as we choose ourselves, our relationships naturally shift from seeking external validation.
So we're no longer trying to please people to being our authentic selves.
And being our authentic self.
And letting people take it or leave it.
Yeah. And what happens is the people who are truly meant to be in our lives, the ones who resonate with our authentic core, they stay.
They stay.
And the ones who don't, they naturally kind of fall away.
And it's not our fault.
No, it's just a natural process.
It's a natural process.
Of alignment.
Yeah.
And so the text also talks about Jung's concept of psychic projection.
Psychic projection.
Yeah. So explain that.
So Jung believed that what's happening within us tends to get projected.
Okay.
Outward.
Light to the world. Onto the world.
So if I'm feeling insecure, I might see everyone else
as judging you.
As judging me.
Yeah.
Even if they're not.
Right.
So our inner world is creating our outer world.
It's creating our reality.
So the text is saying that when we choose ourselves and we embrace all parts of who we are.
Yeah, the good, the bad, the ugly. Yeah. All of it.
Our outer world starts to reflect that.
It becomes more harmonious.
More harmonious.
Yeah.
And the text also challenges this idea of self-sacrifice. Yeah. That we're always told, you should be selfless.
Put everyone else first.
Give, give, give.
Yeah.
And the text is saying that's not sustainable.
It's not.
Because if you're constantly giving and you're not taking care of yourself.
You're depleting yourself.
You're going to burn out.
You're going to burn out.
You're going to be resentful.
You're not going to be able to show up.
Yeah.
For anyone.
You can't pour from an empty cup.
Exactly.
And so the text is saying that true giving comes from a place of self-care.
Self-care.
And self-love.
Self-love.
And self-choice.
Self-choice.
So we have to choose ourselves.